Dennis Escobedo. I did my best there. But the question is, I'm just wondering if Rey's parents really are nobodies or if it's a lie to protect someone else's interest.
I think the three of us are wondering that too.
I think most fans, like 99.9% of Star Wars fans right now, are wondering if that's a lie. And to go to Jesse's point that he mentioned earlier, is JJ going to address that in episode 9? You know, whatever titled movie that is, because we don't know the title right now. Is that one of those things that a lot of fans anticipate getting addressed and not retconned, but maybe course corrected is a better way of saying it? Jesse, what do you think?
I think it's a lie, honestly. Like, why would Kylo Ren have that kind of insight? Like, he really doesn't know anything about Rey at all. I just feel like it's a lie. Like, I feel like he was trying to do it to try to manipulate her.
But
somehow.
At the same time, don't you think that maybe in that Force connection that they have in The Last Jedi, that because they're kind of like in this space together, that there's like some like emotional understanding of each other that they understand? Because like Rey talks about how she like the way she talks about Kylo after those experiences, it's like she kind of like knows him or knows how he thinks or how he feels. Like there's more, like she sees a future for him and it's good. Mm-hmm. And so I wonder if there's like an emotional bond there to where like they're connected. And that's why I think there's maybe legitimacy to what he says in The Last Jedi.
If anything, I think deep down Rey knows that I think she really was abandoned. Mm-hmm. Kind of thing, but at the same time I don't feel like her parents were like just absolutely nobody. I feel like that there's some sort of significance why she was, potentially left behind.
David, let's talk about The Force Awakens. Or you make your point first, but I got a question for you.
Are they still talking? Is there still rumor? Has there been any further discussion on whether they're going to take episode 9 and split it into 2 parts?
We haven't gotten that. So far, what we're told is it's one movie.
Because
I've been trying to call JJ. He's not taking my calls at the moment.
There are so many things that we need to wrap up in 2.5 hours that unless for some reason Rey's parentage is a major plot point, then I think that's going to be it. Because we have to figure out if this is the last Skywalker saga movie, we need to figure out how peace is coming back to the galaxy. We need to figure out the Knights of Ren. We need to figure out, is Captain Phasma really dead? What happens to Hux? Is Snoke really dead? How did C-3PO get his red arm? I mean, there's just
we do know how C-3PO got the red arm in the comics.
Yeah, there's a comic book, I believe.
And that's also like a very minor thing we need to wrap up.
Once again, there are just so many things that they could be discussing that unless this is something really, really major, I think they're just going to drop.
What do you think about in The Force Awakens when we had that scene with Maz Kanata at her castle with Rey, and she's like telling Rey, like, the truth about your parents. You need to look about what's in your future. You need to go find Luke. That's what life is calling you to do. Maz. So we get that also in The Last Jedi. It's a reflection of that with Kylo telling, you already know the truth. Nothing. They were nobody. It seems that does that scene in The Force Awakens also give support to the fact that they're nobodies? They're you know what I'm saying? It just seems, if it was just Kylo having this conversation with Rey so far, I'd be like, yeah, he's just manipulating her. But it also seems that Rey has doubt. It also seems that Maz, who is Force sensitive, has this feeling that they're never coming home. Mm-hmm. She needs to go find her own journey. It really sounds like Rey is just this lost person who is Force sensitive, mm-hmm. who is able to tap those skills. Oddly, 19, whatever she is, pretty old to be learning the ways of the Force. I still believe that she had some kind of training early on, and then she had her mind wiped or something. Because there's no other explanation for me to know. How is she so strong? But I think it is interesting. I do think her parents get addressed in episode 9. Jesse?
I'd like to think so.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, let us know what you think. And also, Dennis, thanks so much for that fan question. Because I really do think, Dennis, that is the question on a lot of people's mind. Will we get her parents mentioned in episode 9? And will we see the Knights of Ren? And I think if you wanted to have like the ultimate saber battle, because something we talk about is we need more lightsabers, you bring in the Knights of Ren, and they have archaic weapons, and maybe one of them has a saber. That could be some fun sequences.
I think that'd be cool.
That could be a lot of fun. Let us know what you think down in the comments below.